to close by sharing an important story with you. Someone who was in my high school when I lived in Botswana. The year was 1991. All Owen wanted was to fit in and be accepted by his peers in school. The best way that he knew to do this was by becoming one of the top swimmers on the school team, just like his older brother Scott had been when he was in our school. And so as a freshman, Owen began to train very hard, swimming 35 laps more in practice than anyone else. And very soon his speed and performance were improving rapidly, and he found himself gaining that recognition that he had been seeking. In the summer before his senior year, he was swimming so well that his coach asked him to be the captain of our school's very prestigious swim team. Now, he was thrilled by this because this meant that he would have a chance to compete in the biggest competition in the state, the biggest swimming competition in the state. The competition was a long 9 months away, and all of Owen's teammates didn't think it was important to start training and practicing early, but he inspired them to begin early. He started them off swimming an extra 10 laps in practice every day, and very soon he had gotten them up to swimming 35 laps. As a result of all that extra work they did, each team member improved their best times by a couple of seconds, which in swimming is everything. So everything was going well, until 4 weeks later. Owen and his family were involved in a horrific car crash. A crash that killed his brother Scott and cost Owen his left leg. Now this tragedy couldn't have come at a worse time, if at any time at all. And all of the hard work and training that Owen had put into practicing, into getting better, that was now all in vain. Within the next several weeks, while he was waiting for his leg to heal, he started to work out and exercise as much as he could, mostly strengthening his upper body because he wasn't allowed to do anything with his lower body. According to his doctors, Owen's progress while in the hospital was both remarkable and unusual. And they believed that it was because he was training so hard. But when he was asked why he was working so hard, Owen turned to his doctor and said, "Training is all that I know to distract me from dwelling on the horrible things that have happened." And he also said the best way he knew how to honor Scott's memory was by getting up and getting on with his life. During the next few months, what little remained of Owen's left leg was healing pretty well, so he began to wear a prosthetic leg. Now, as you can imagine, this in itself was a big challenge to learn how to walk in this new leg, let alone get back into the swimming pool again. But when he was allowed back into the pool, Owen swam as much as he could. And then he realized that swimming again wasn't so difficult. Why? Because he had built tremendous strength in his torso and arms. Owen worked really hard. So hard, in fact, that he requalified for the team right before the state competition. And he made a decision never to let his new physical disability turn into a mental handicap. He worked so hard. On that special day, and as captain once again, in the biggest competition of his young life, Owen represented our team in the 100 meters freestyle event. He got up off the team bench and he pulled his leg off. And he hopped his way to the starting line. You could hear the crowd, the murmurs and loud whispers. And then he hopped up onto the starting block, gasped the crowd. How can this little kid with one leg compete against all of these able-bodied athletes? Bang! And into the pool they all went. And with 20 meters to go, and to everyone's surprise, Owen was in second place. And he gave it everything he had until the very end, and he held on to second place. The crowd went insane as he pulled himself back out of the pool to begin hopping back to his team bench. But his teammates grabbed him, they mobbed him and put him on their shoulders with pride. It was as if he had won the gold medal. As he sat back down to put his prosthetic leg on, a reporter crouched down next to him and said, "Owen, how do you feel? Are you surprised by your second place finish?" And he looked into the distance for just a moment. And he turned to the reporter with tears in his eyes and said, I just hope my brother's proud of me because I did the best that I could. Ladies and gentlemen, Owen rose to the occasion. Owen rose out of being sidelined by the uncertainty that overwhelmed and burnt him out initially. He didn't just sit in the stands of his life waiting for magic to happen, talking about what he would do if he had 2 legs. Owen didn't wait until right after all of his right afters, and neither should he. So here's my question to you. How often are you treating it, how often does a temporary state of burnout, the temporary setback, turn into a mental handicap that holds you back from the life that you know you deserve to be living? Owen rose to the occasion, and I want to encourage you all and challenge all of us to keep resetting our perspective constantly. Life hits us in the face constantly. We have to keep resetting our perspective. We've got to keep initiating personal control, sticking to our game plan so that we can indeed empower the renewed you. So remember always, life gets better when you do. So keep rising. Thank you,